はいはい。오늘 히로미 야이빈. 그래 Scion showcase. Yeah. I'm Hiromi, they, them, the creative lead for Scion and writer and developer for a bunch of other things. This is the Scion Showcase, show where a bunch of writers and developers finally get to play the game that we talk so much about and cause a little chaos for each other in the process. Let's meet our players. Elliot, who are you? Whom do you play? And what do they think about the wildly illegal activity that they're allegedly involved in?
Hi, I'm Elliot Freeman, he, him. I am a writer for Scion and a writer and developer for Exalted. I am playing BP, Beauregard Prescott, a child of Gaia. And what does BP think about these allegedly illegal activities? I think BP isn't really thinking about the legality of it so much as just doing what's right in his heart.
That is an excellent answer that will not cause problems. David, who are you? Whom do you play? And what do they think about the wildly illegal activities that they are allegedly involved in?
Um, Hi everyone. My name is David Castro, they, them. I am a writer for more Onyx Path things than I can list right now, and a developer for Exalted Essence and Scion. I am playing Damien De La Cruz, who is having if was actually asked this question, would be having a very M Tyson moment where, like, this is for you, this might be this wildly, like, illegal thing that's going on and might be the story that you tell your children later. For me, this is a Sunday.
Uh, and Michaela, who are you? Whom do you play? And what do they think about the wildly illegal activity they're allegedly involved in?
Hello everyone, I'm Michele Masala, he, him. I'm playing Elena Torres Rappaccini, they, them, as Scion Novelas. I am a writer from Italy. I worked on The Chronicles of Darkness, The World of Darkness, Scion, Exalted, and I'm a writer and developer for the Trinity Continuum and They Came From Line. And I think it's cool to say that I wrote on The World Below. That's has been out of the bag for a while. Elena, or rather, let's call them Torns for tonight, since it's a special occasion. Basically, Elena, Torns, there's no distinction between illegal and legal for them. It's basically what they think it's right to do. And since they are, they are basically an eco-terrorist to begin with. So this is it is all okay for Torns, and getting the divine powers only made things more interesting, basically.
Nice. Okay, and this is the season and possibly series finale for the show, because we have gotten to a hell of a fucking climax, and it's gonna be fun. So for I was gonna say, for a recap, I'll do the little like quiz thing that I think worked out pretty all right the last time, but I realized that we might also just want to like recap very, very briefly what's happened to this point. And so to do that, go back through the three of you, and what are the moments that you best remember, or rather the moments that your characters best remember? And we'll go ahead and go in the same order. Elliot.
I think BP's most vivid memory is probably how this whole thing started, with an out of control remote controlled garbage truck, a
Going
band of
backwards.
going backwards.
Don't forget going backwards.
A band of Rakshasa pursuers, and then a very strange evening that, in his recollection, is anchored almost entirely by seafood nachos.
Awesome. David, what does Damien remember of the weirdness that we've had up until this point?
The first response probably says more about Damien's personality than anything else I could say. The most strongest memory was that time that he met himself, when he had his visitation by meeting the god that he is incarnated of, and having a weird conversation with himself. Then there's the cutting the line to heaven with the Rakshasa, which is also a part of my visitation, I think. And the each of the times that Damien had a let's say conversation, more like negotiation, with beings far beyond his ken. The controller of the Rakshasa, whoever was in the bar in Salem, and asking Baba Yaga to make her house take a knee come to mind.
Nice.
Because I wasn't jumping on it like y'all were.
Yeah. And Michaela, what does Thorns remember about all this weirdness?
I actually have a fond memory of our characters chatting in the back of the truck, like when Jeffrey also was around, and we were all tired from the very first running away from the police. I think it was the moment when we escaped the police station. It was probably the first flash that found its place into my mind very, very clearly. I'll say that Thomas did some cool stuff in this adventure, so those certainly are the moments, like when I rolled like, with announcements, but I got like 13 successes to punch someone into the ground. That was remarkable, so I remember. That was that too, where I Shoryuken Rakshasa, that was cool as well. And we all had some very cool moments, I think, and I also enjoyed seeing people doing cool things with their characters. That was always cool, and the look on Hiromi's face when we rolled an absurd number of successes. We gave some cool rolls here. I remember very clearly Hiromi role-playing Mrs. Nadar. That was that's something that stood there, and also meeting Baba Yaga was really cool, and something I was very happy to experience in this game.
Oh, Oh, one more thing. Me fully justifying in character in the cool moment last game why my character, a unabashed criminal, took order as a purview. It makes sense
Malicious
now,
compliance.
doesn't it?
Basically.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Also, let's not forget the most wonderful NPC, the hammer.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, the hammer. I'm gonna put that character in probably the next Scion book I develop.
Mhm.
Excellent. Yeah.
I'm a fan of Addy, basically, or your Instagrammer.
Addy, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Might with y'all's permission, I might end up releasing something like this as a Storypath vault thing, but also like this is just
Mhm.
been a hell of a lot of fun, and the just wild chaos off the rails. Like it's been my pleasure to run this fucking game for y'all.
It's been pretty
Like
cool.
because I set up weird situations, and I do my best to kind of keep things surreal to prevent well, not to prevent, but to like limit the kind of metagame thought that we often have, because like we know we know games, but if shit's really weird, it's difficult to get there. But you often find a way to make it grounded anyways. Like fucking taking out one of the hell supernatural crimes unit cops by fucking calling her on your phone. The constantly screwing with cops that are following you and just being like, yeah, no, your car's busted, so sorry, you can't follow us anymore. Yeah, honestly, I think most moments that stick out in my head are just you guys screwing with the cops.
ACAP extends into fantasy games. What can we say?
And also playing both playing the more memorable NPCs like the Hammer and Mrs. Nadar, Mrs. Johnson, and Baba Yaga, but also like the feedback that y'all gave me in those instances where it's like, I think the first time I played the Hammer, he was not, he was at like a 6 or a 7, like excited, Johnny Cochran-ish, and like feeding off of your energy and like the kinds of situations that you would call and pull him into, like just kept going until like dude's at an 11 now, and I can never not play him at 11. Doing so would be a disservice to y'all. And I think a lot of the characters kind of had that, not that exact evolution, but I'm playing them, but they wouldn't feel who they feel like if it weren't for the way that you've been interacting with them. Games are collaborative, turns out.
Mm-hmm.
Who'd have thunk it?
So
Definitely not the people who make those. I'm the dungeon master. I'm the lord of whatever nonsense T-shirts that they try and sell me on Facebook.
Okay, so what city are you in?
Seattle, pretty sure.
Why?
Well, we are at the end of the story of the Seattle arc, so we can say so. It's a bit convoluted at this point, but we are basically came here to prove that a Titan Spawn called Karen wasn't involved in the murder of a Scion called Akir Tempest. So after doing our researches, we discovered there's actually one copy. I can't remember if we learned his name last time.
Harry Callahan.
Oh, right, yes.
Sergeant Harry Callahan.
Yeah, he squints and does this with the a lot. So yes, he is a Scion who hates other Scions apparently, and there's other supernatural creatures, and that's why we are in Seattle. What we are doing in Seattle right now is battling against the cops while darkness and chaos summoned by Baba Yaga cover for the most of us, even though they still shooting tear gas at us, and I got it. I'm the only one who got the damage so far. An injury. Sorry, the Storypath term is injury.
And where in Seattle are you now?
All right, I don't remember.
You don't
Aren't we
necessarily
on a
have to.
soccer field
It's a soccer field. I don't think it was named.
Yes.
with Baba Yaga's house
Mhm.
looming like some sort of henge? And also there's fog?
Yes, you are surrounded in fog-like darkness.
Yeah.
Bobby Young, Bobby Young, fucking Playfield. Yeah, I never remember the name of the soccer area because no one fucking, well, not no one. Rarely is it called by that because the whole park is Cow Anderson Park, and so everyone just calls it Cow Anderson Park, even if there's a specific name for the soccer field. And what are our Scions doing currently?
Rolling out of the way as grenades are being launched at us. Or not in JP's sense. Because tanking them, it's fine.
This is fine.
I summoned a lot of living thorns and branches to handle most of the cops, so those are still active. And also, there's a giant wolf made of briars that appeared and seems to be my friend, but I haven't had the chance to meet them yet. So I think I'll do that first thing as I get control of thorns.
Yeah. And last question of the recap. How worried are you and about what?
Oh, personally, I'm not exactly worried. I'm sure we're kicking butts here, so I'm taking all the hits that I'll need to take to and plan to repay each even harder. It's a very Thorns way of doing things.
Damien is not worried. David is, but Damien is not. Because Damien doesn't ever have the concept of failure in his mind. He goes through life going, "Yep, this will work too." So I'm just sort of like, he's got it. Nothing has happened thus far that Damien could be like, the plan isn't going according to plan, despite there being no plan.
EP is mainlining his Titanic Colossus form for the first time. So he's feeling invincible in a way that if the Greek gods have taught us anything, will have no consequences and will always work out exactly as intended.
Hubris, never better.
She doesn't have the range. Rip y'all, but I'm different. Better. Maybe even better than the gods.
And we
can
aren't
say?
even scion of any Greek god right now, so that's nothing. Right, Gaia.
Well, Titan, but
So leading directly off of that, y'all had deeds before now. And I guess you still have deeds. What was BP's short-term deed?
to style on someone with Titanic might.
You think you accomplished it?
I think it's entirely possible.
Does BP have an idea of what it means to be Titanic, which was the long term?
Probably not until he's actually had a chance to sit down and think about what is happening and in all likelihood still about to happen.
Titanicness. Whatever. So Thorns wanted to learn more about the Bogovi, which some things have been happening in the last session that might reveal more, but I don't know if that's actually the full extent of what
I would say no. I didn't spend much time talking with Baba Yaga about the Bogovi. That's something that Thorns will probably do later after we roll credits, probably. But actually, I think my long-term need to accomplish something personal with Scion powers, and given the host of cops that I scared or hurt right now, would qualify for that, to be honest.
Yeah, like I think so far you have faced off against 25 cops, and all of them have been dealt with. There are still more that you cannot see, but the achievement progress bar is way more over here.
Turns out that the powers where you spend legend, have you spend that instead of imbuing because they are strong. So I saved the legend just for a moment like this.
And Damien's goals. Has Damien dealt with a ghost?
I definitely just realized that we did that last session. I didn't even mark it that we did that last session.
Mhm.
So I'm just like, wait, we did deal with a ghost. Not a goat ghost, alas, but you can only get so much. So yeah, we definitely did deal with a ghost.
And just to clarify for folks who are maybe watching without context of other episodes, the murder victim, Akira Tempest, basically got summoned to the fucking soccer field where Damien's like, here, go confront your murderer. And because of that and other shit Damien's been doing to him, the murderer hasn't gotten an action this whole fucking time.
Mm-hmm.
Just psychic beatdown the whole time. And like don't need to do physical damage. Just
Mm-hmm.
do an emotional damage. Insert Uncle
Where's
Roger
that
meme
gif?
here.
Yeah. Emotional damage.
And does Damien yet know what it means to be a Scion?
Damien has his definition of what it means to be a Scion now, which is using your powers to fuck shit up.
Yeah, I mean that is certainly a common definition of what it means to be a Scion. Okay, so here's the Earth. When we last left off, several canisters of tear gas got launched at y'all. I think Damien just dodged and let it like bounce away harmlessly, or did you grab it and throw it back?
I
wanna say-
dodged. I have no skills at throwing things.
Did BP grab it and throw it back?
You offered the chance to because
Oh.
of great, but I no, BP did not commit technical assault by doing so. And doesn't need to, because epic stamina for a Titan means never having to say oops.
No.
Or always
Epic.
having to say it.
Never I mean to say I'm sorry. No, that's not a thing.
And Thorns is the one person who had less luck there and got just hit right in the chest with the tear gas canister. There's Harry Callahan, who is still conscious but ensnared in the thorns and sobbing. There are 12 cops unconscious, mostly supported by vines. Another 12 have just fled. You cannot see them anymore because they're beyond Baba Yaga's darkness. And you know that there are at least 3 more cops out there because 3 of them fired tear gas canisters at you. And I believe that's where we're at.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So with that outlined, what do you want to do? Oh,
Keep
sorry.
up the.
I should clarify one more thing. So within the darkness, several cops have tried to shoot their guns at you, and it has not worked. In fact, nothing is burning within Baba Yaga's darkness, which is great because tear gas requires fire to work. So while there are tear gas canisters that are near you, none of them matter. However, that those things got launched into it means that fire still works outside.
Mhm.
Oh, I see. Okay, I
Mhm.
hear you.
So now, what would you like to do?
Okay, to throw back the tear gas canister would be the obvious choice right now. Okay, I'm firing my thing since it's the season finale and possibly the series finale. I'll activate the since I got my jacket, I have access to fertility. I use the innate power. Once per session, I can radiate an area of vitality, causing flowers and other plant life to bloom and grow, which does that as a narrative aspect. And also, all allies out to long range may resolve a single bruised or injured condition. So I'll heal of the damage I got. And that's something. And also
Awesome.
make things grow more, even more, because that's something I can do. But it has no mechanical impact in that sense. It just fluff.
Rules as written, it doesn't. But roll 5 dice for me.
Okay.
And to pull back the curtain a little bit, it's 2 from the Leshy, who is inside your jacket right now, 2 from the jacket itself, and 1 from your legend.
Okay. Well, I rolled 4 successes with 2 10s, and those became 2 more successes. It seems like fate is listening that we are closing the finger today. That's why I was laughing.
It's a good reason to laugh. 6 successes on 5 dice is pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
Okay. So with that in mind, peace or justice?
Taurus would go for justice between the two.
So Thorns sort of like gestures with their hands, and previously vines had like rippled through the astroturf to create the briar patch that's been dealing with the cops so far. Now, beneath the astroturf, a huge wave of earth ripples out, and from the crest of that rippling astroturf that is now tearing apart because it cannot contain what's below is this gigantic figure of moss. Like this is easily 15 feet tall and just bulky as shit. I don't remember how large BP is right now, but
probably close to 7.
Sorry.
So BP is no longer the largest thing out here, and BP's already pretty fucking big. And you hear this bellow of a growl. You feel it in your chest more than you hear it. Like if any of you have hung out next to the speakers at a concert, it is at that level or beyond, depending on which concerts you've been to. And it just starts trudging forward. And if there are any open cups of beverages, they're doing that fucking Jurassic Park boom, boom. And it's a good use. It's a good use of your
innate power.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll Thorns, which is the name I wanted to use for Elena from Demigod onward, but tonight it's just Thorns. I think they'll conclude their action by instinctively running toward the Briar Wolf they recognize as friend and hop on board. So now I'm riding a giant wolf to end my action, and that's a
Yeah, no, that Briar Wolf's like just absolutely no problem. Almost welcomes you atop, and it feels like the wolf wants to fight and go towards where the tear gas came from. You have the distinct feeling that you can control, and you don't have to do that, but there is certainly a suggestion.
For this round, I'll stay here and see what the others do, but the option is there for the next one.
David, what's Damien doing?
Damien is coming out of his action film style dive roll to get out of the path of that tear gas container. And is currently looking at his birthrights like, I don't know what I've got. You pull out my phone, which, as well as being a I joker or whatever you pronounce that word, is also the way I access Tez's mirror. Whose motif is secrets beg for revelation, mysteries beg for solution. And not out of a sense of fear because he's not afraid, but out of a not sure where to go from here, sort of remembers the scene that he got before, which for those who were not there or haven't watched that episode was Thorns seemingly jousting while riding Baba Yaga's house as a mount. Do with that information what you will, Michaela. So knows there's some sort of divination and just sort of calling out to whatever fed him that information. I need more. I don't know what to do.
On your phone, you see the figure of a black woman in judge robes, and she's pulling a spear from her chamber walls and then grabbing a hoplite, a Greek shield, and then she's just sprinting, and you have the distinct impression that she's coming here, and that she is not on your side. And the spear in her hands is the same one that you saw Thorns wielding earlier.
Oh, is what Damien says. And then pockets the phone again. They have reinforcements coming of our type. And that's what Damien's doing.
And what's BP doing?
So BP had kind of put himself between Damien and Harry, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Harry's still just, kind of lost in his own trauma with Akura Tempest and
you get the impression that there is like yet a tiny ember of fight in him, but that like it could be extinguished with almost anything.
I think BP's going to like stride up towards him, and there's a moment of question for himself or anyone who sees him about whether or not he's just going to destroy this guy, because he is 7 foot tall. He's made of like stone, and his steps are literally kind of cracking the earth around him at some points.
Mhm.
And he kind of like rears back in a way that could have been like he's about to put his fist through this guy's face. And there's a long moment that pauses, and he just kind of like brings it up towards his face and just like snaps in front of him. What's it going to take for you to actually do one small thing that is right? Because it is too late for you to make anything good, but it is not too late for you to make one decent choice.
This sounds like persuasion and presence to me.
Okay.
It also sounds like at least 3 enhancement. I'm looking at your character sheet and trying to see what I think 3.
Fair. Well, because
Yeah.
I've got it from the mutation and from
Actually, you spent legend like a round or two ago, yeah?
No, I imbued it for
Imbued it there.
charmed. Yeah.
Then yeah, you'll cap at 3.
Mhm.
I was thinking about whether that was going to be 3 on top of your relevant specializations of uncanny strong and going medieval.
So it is 6 successes total.
Nice.
He drops to his fucking knees and starts sobbing. Like he had relaxed his grip on his gun earlier to like the point where he would not be able to fire it without regripping it and making it like very obvious and giving you plenty of time to react. He has now not with force thrown it from his hand, but you get the distinct impression, especially because you have fucking 5 dots in empathy. You get the distinct impression that he is now viewing the weapons he has as like toxic, like venomous things that he has on him, and he is wrecked with sobs. Guns out of his hand, the sword of Hudikan that he's had on his back, he just like rips it off. Like he has to tear the leather in order to pull it off. or rather, he didn't have to, but that's how much he wants weapons off of his body. And he's trying to like look and like to find one of Addie's cameras to confess to, and he is like getting out like one word every 5 seconds because he is just fucking bawling. He is very slowly confessing to the murder and the cover up and just everything that he has ever done wrong that he is aware of, which is a long list. And he is incredibly disfluent right now, and it's going to take a while for him to get through that list. But you get the feeling that that's what he's going to do right now, and probably for longer than you want to stick around, unless BP really does want to stick around for it. But it seems like it's going to take a while, and it seems like that is his mission in life at this point. Y'all combined have just, I can't say reformed because that's not like a thing really, but like the macho, I'm doing the right thing and therefore I can do no wrong attitude that he's had up until this point, it's fucking gone. It's been shattered. And he's now coming to grips with the fact that he has not been a good person. It's a powerful snap.
So very good.
What am I even going to have you roll for this?
Vibes.
Roll vibes,
Vibes.
plus check.
Roll vibes plus sup. No, let's go with whichever is better of close combat, firearms, or subterfuge and cunning.
Are you all doing that?
Yeah. So stuff is happening beyond the darkness, and it's hard to tell. It's fucking dark out there.
It's a decent dice pool for me because I start with 5 dots of close combat, so I get 3 successes.
Same.
So I have 5 dots of cunning and 4 dots in subterfuge. So this should be great. They say, as if they haven't. They say, well, not rolling the dice yet. Okay. 2 successes.
Okay. All of you have the distinct impression that there's a bit of calm before the storm. From the tear gas canisters, you knew that there were at least riot cops out there, but you now have the feeling that it's not just riot cops, that there is an actual SWAT team on site. Michaela and Elliot, you got 3. It's hard to like pick out the sounds that you hear approaching at speed, but you're hearing kind of a rattle of armor and pre-modern armor, and
They brought a Gundam.
And like the scuff of someone leaping, and you get the distinct impression that you're hearing someone jump like rooftop to rooftop on their way approaching, which doesn't make a ton of sense, but BP just grew like a foot, and there's a wolf made out of briars and a giant made out of moss, and
House with chicken
a
legs.
house with
Let's not
chicken
forget.
feet. So like
Mhm.
what makes sense has become extremely relative. So that is where you're at. Nothing immediately charges or opens fire, but you get the feeling that it's coming real soon.
Addy, can you leave that one streaming? And he points to whichever of the cameras is currently focused on, whichever one is currently being confessed into.
Yeah, absolutely. I can have more than one on them if you want.
Yeah, that'd be great. But I do think this would be time for us to, mosey, leave, head out.
Because of the violence.
Yes, because of the violence.
Okay.
And the impending violence.
Oh, there's more?
There's always more.
Violence begets violence. These violent delights have violent ends. Pick your quote of choice.
Addie looks like she's concentrating but not worried, which is you have come to recognize as not necessarily a good thing. What is Thorns or Damien doing?
Damien, at the very least, is looking around. Trying to figure out what Damien can do. Damien wants to get out of Dodge and seemed like the confession is what we came for. Everything else is gravy. We can get the fuck out of here. While not retreating per se, because that's when bad things happen, but expediently getting the fuck out would be my suggestion. So backing up what Elliot's character is saying.
Okay.
Okay, I think that Thorns hears this, and they can, well, perhaps not necessarily agree to leave without fighting, but they'll hear what their friends say, and so work in a sense to enable that, even if they like to do a little bit more.
You get the sense that the Moss Beast would be happy to just go on ahead.
Yeah, but Thors would love to, the Moss Beast would love, the Briar Wolf would, but I'm in the minority here, and I feel like Thors would go with the group in this case, even if it's something they probably think about a little bit for the future. So I'll do, instead of doing a physical action, I'll try to do a social one, and I'll grab the Briar Wolf, which I'll baptize on the moment as Lily, and the giant Mossman with me outside of the fog, and face to face the police on the outside, basically, and try to give them a word, basically. So I imagine they'll see this person riding a giant wolf made of briars, and a giant behind coming out of the darkness, I think.
Yeah. So okay. So the moss beast tramples and just crushes through the fence that was between you and the line of squad cars with riot cops behind there, and then down the street. The fuck is that? 12? Doesn't matter. It's not 12. It doesn't matter. The street in front of Elliott Bay Books. There is a SWAT van there, and you can see that there is a SWAT team that was stacked up and ready to advance. And now that there is a fucking 15-foot tall moss beast and a imposing punk astride a fucking briar wolf, they're not sure what to make of that. They see weird things, because this is the world, and weird things do exist, but there's a limit. What are you trying to pull off with these guys?
Okay, I'm gonna have my little speech that I prepared in the last round, and then you can tell me if that's cool for an announcement, yeah, and if the wolf and the giant give me more for whatever I'll have to roll, okay?
Mhm.
Okay, so turns will just go slowly left and right, like Theoden at the fields in the Return of the King of Vile Lily, and scream at the cops, shout rather. And so they'll say, "All right, fuckers, I'm Torns, Scion of Beles of the Vogovi. I was your enemy before getting my powers, and now I'm your worst fucking nightmare. This is how things will go. You'll leave me and my friends go without lifting a single finger at us, and leave, and also don't touch those behind us, because there's some people there. And tonight you'll get my gift to return to your houses with your bones unbroken. Otherwise, I'll be happy to jump into the fray and see what happens. Are we clear?" I spent the last round working on this.
Nice. Yeah, ordinarily I might say persuasion, but or leadership, but I feel like integrity might actually be more appropriate, because like this is a sort of distillation of the
Yeah, I can
ethos
see
that you've
that.
been putting forward and like establishing throughout the last fucking 19 sessions. So I'm thinking integrity and presence, unless you have a better idea. And
I think presence is the right one in this case, yes.
And yeah, you're gonna have 4 enhancement to this. This is this is a lot.
Unless I can argue for might, because I'm making a show of that, but that's stretching it, maybe. It's
I
presence
think you would have to
still.
do something physically imposing for it to be might.
I'm not exactly doing that, yes. I
Yeah,
can see
like
that.
you are browbeating them.
It's presence, yes.
If you had like torn out a chunk of concrete and like been like, all right, I'm gonna throw this at you, I could see might, but yeah.
No, just this one, and because I
Don't
don't
be
have
like
epic,
him.
I don't have epic strength yet. No, I'll roll what I got. It's cool.
As David was saying that, I just like had this vision of the alien queen, like the xenomorph queen from Aliens, just like grabbing Bishop and just boom. And then game mechanicking that as an intimidation on Newt. And I'm like, no, that checks out. That completely checks out.
Okay, let's see. I think that in this case, though, my authorities specialty could work.
I was including it.
Okay, it's quite all right then. It's further. Okay, come on, let's not make a cool thing not work. Okay, it's 4 from my roll, and then it becomes 8 with the enhancements.
Seems good.
Mm-hmm.
Seems good.
Is that high?
I have eye integrity, so that helps.
All right. Well, they have 3 defense, so
Stunts.
I mean, I don't think we have appropriate stunts for this, but I can like just make something up on the spot if you would like.
No, it's cool to roll with the extra successes. Don't worry about that.
Okay. So you there are, what the hell, 8 riot cops behind several squad cars. There are a few beat cops around who are the ones who drove those squad cars, because the riot cops came from the Eastern Precinct, the SWAT van, and it would make sense for them to get in their vehicles and leave, or at least all head in the same direction towards the Eastern Precinct, which is like a half block away, or a full block, depending on whether you count streets or distance as the measurement of a block. It would make sense if they did that. They are running in whatever direction they feel is most away from you. Some of them still have their weapons on them. You free empathy check. You do not think they're holding on to their weapons as a conscious choice. It's just they happen to be, they have something in their hands, and like their hands have tightened, and they happen to be holding on to weapons, but it's just because they are freaked that fucking hard. Yeah, they scatter the within seconds. All you see are the backs of cops and empty squad cars and an empty SWAT van. And unless you stop it or make any move to stop it, the Moss Beast is just going to start trampling cars.
Oh, he can trample some cars as a
Okay.
treat.
I'll come out of the darkness, brushing like grass off my suit for my combat role, and look at the Moss Beast, look at Thorns up on the wolf, and go, "Nice job. Can you tell your new friend to leave us one? We do need to get out of here."
I'll let him rampage across the street, and so we can do whatever. I trust he'll return to the earth when it's time for him to do so. And the last round was an explanation of why I considered picking up Titanic virtues for Thor's coming demigod. The primeval is right there.
I'll ask the question again. Peace or justice? And this is to Michaela, or I guess more accurately to Thorns.
I'll keep going for justice, but we can leave in the meantime.
Okay. So in that case, you see the Moss Beast like grab the nearest squad car, and you hear like the sound that very similar to like a car peeling out, but that's because the Moss Beast is just dragging it towards you, and it's the tires is sort of going like and then the rampage continues. So you have the one car, and the rest are just getting pummeled. Like it's you get the distinct feeling that the Moss Beast could be smarter about what it's doing, and it's making the conscious decision to not.
That's valid.
What's BP up to?
BP is kind of looking back, and he's like, well, I thought we were going to take the chicken house out of here. But
we can now.
Yeah, that's exactly
The
what
chicken
I have
house
been.
is busy.
What is the chicken house doing?
What is the chicken house doing?
It hasn't moved. Like it's alive, so it's not frozen still, but it hasn't like taken an action to move itself. It's I just clarifying that when I said it hasn't moved, I don't mean that like it's
Stock still.
And Baba Yaga is ear to ear grin. And when I say ear to ear grin, I actually mean that literally. Like her mouth is somehow larger than you've seen it before. It is simultaneously unsettling to see a smile go like this, but it's also not surprising. You haven't seen her do it before, but you're like, yeah, no, that checks out. It's fucking terrifying, but yeah, no, that checks out.
Her whole vibe is that just ain't right. Our deal with her had nothing, said nothing about extraction, so I'm assuming we don't have a deal for extraction.
You get the feeling that she would be amenable to make one, but
involve
it
a
is
new
not
deal.
included.
Yeah. This is not all inclusive cruise, and I don't know that we have the time to make a new deal. Meanwhile, there's a car right here.
And he'll get in the car.
I look him up and down in his will regard the Rock Prescott guys. I don't know that you fit.
He takes a second, he takes a deep breath in, and you just see him just shrink down into his normal, still very tall size, and no longer probably made out of rock or weathered like an ancient statue.
I'll give you the option to do that or not. To still be made out of stone or not.
Yeah, I'll stay made out of stone.
Okay.
It's an interesting one. Yep.
Who's driving?
Did anyone take in?
BP.
I have none.
In pilot me.
Zebra.symbiote, besides I'm riding a wolf.
Yeah, I was double checking
And
y'all's
I'm from New
character
York,
sheet.
we don't
I'm
drive.
like,
I'm from New York, we don't drive.
All right.
Hopefully we won't need to do any chase or something, just drive.
So
Is Thorns going to remain on the wolf while we get out?
Yes, I have a new cool friend.
Just gonna follow behind us on a giant briar wolf?
Well, I think
say giant briar wolf as if I know the common sizes of briar wolves. I don't know. This might be a normal size. This might be undersized. Who knows?
I mean, they are big or size, so I assume they have big or space. So I think Lily can keep up with the car.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd have to double check and see like what speed would be appropriate, but definitely keeping up. And I was gonna say that Elliot can roll the better of BP's cunning or dexterity, but they're the same. So you have 3 dice. How much of a hurry are you to get out of here?
Moderate hurry.
Okay. Then I will just set the target number at the standard 1.
So fair to say that being raised as a prepper, he's probably had to do some hauling of various loads at random speeds, inadvisable speeds.
I'll say yes. Say yes. That
can you tap multiple?
Potentially. I don't know that, at least in this version, the version of your character sheet that I have, that there's anything else that's relevant, but you could make a case for something, I guess.
No, that one that is too much of a stretch for me. Do we have momentum left?
2 momentum left.
2 momentum. I'll save it.
Mm-hmm.
As if there's a fine. I'm gonna spend one of the momentum.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's a very good thing oh no, actually 3 successes on what was originally 3 dice.
There you go.
Yeah, I was going to double check the wording on your virtues to see if you would actually get 2 dice, because y'all have been doing stuff, but it sounds like you don't fucking need it. So instead, you see a Black woman judge who appears to be like an ancient Greek hoplite, just like superhero pose.
Thank you for pronouncing that correctly.
Got you. harplite. No, fucking hoplite.
Hoplite.
Ancient Greek has no silent letters. You say them all. Yeah, she slams down in the middle of an intersection, superhero landing, levels her shield, or rather holds her shield, levels her spear through the notch. And you have enough fucking successes for this to not be a thing. In which way would you like this to not be a thing? You like as purely as examples, you could like Tokyo drift around her. You could just like hang a left or a right, like because she's in the middle of an intersection and there are cars around, but
You can drive through her.
I
have
kind of like
options.
I kind of like the Tokyo drift. And as we're drifting around, BP just like sticks his head out and says, "Fight's over, go home." So can I roll my Clash of Wills?
Oh my fucking god.
That might have killed me.
Oh
god. Oh god. And now we have our out of context Scion. I was afraid we weren't going to have one.
Yeah, you can go ahead and clash on this. I'm just trying to see how she is going to try to resist this. I was inclined to say persuasion, but I can kind of see empathy here, which would be better for you. If you can make an argument for leader you're calling, then I'll say that. Otherwise, it's legend or tyrant, which is the same, so it doesn't matter.
Fair.
So if you would like to argue leader or hunter
No.
somehow.
I'm good with that. Yeah.
Okay. Then
Okay.
I guess I'm rolling her desperation pool because I didn't write down resisting being told to fuck off.
It's surprising because that's what we did all of last session was just tell various beings to fuck off.
That's 2 10s.
Oh, I hate it.
You hate to see it.
Worst person you know rolls 10s.
Oh, what you got?
3.
Well, those 2 10s did not generate any additional successes, and those were the only successes she rolled. So,
oh my god!
Like
The
you were
poker face is
basically
real.
even on dice pools for that, and no, you're
Fight's over, go home.
nope. Clash of Will works. Yeah, she. As you're driving past, you just sort of see her arms sag and go, fucking and so you Tokyo drift around her to the right, which means that you can stick your head out the window and yell at her because she's on your left then at the driver's seat. And I am going to arbitrarily say that Thorns rides past on the left. Thorns, there is a spear like up and down in one hand near you as you're riding past, and it kind of seems like the fight has gone out of this judge. You want a free spear?
Yeah, let's grab a spear and
Give me athletics and might or dexterity.
actually not that great despite my dice pool. Just one success. Can't always win.
You reach for it, and she tries to resist. Like it seems like for a second, like maybe she's gonna hold on to her spear. Instead, you drag her for about 20 feet. And at the end of that, she tries to like buckle down and like gain her footing, which she does, but she loses the spear in the process.
Nice.
You feel like in this moment, if she could, she would throw her spear at you because she's pissed at you. But you have her fucking spear now, so she can't throw it at you. It meta game that doesn't fucking matter. It has an ability to be recalled after she throws it. She didn't throw it. She can't recall it.
Hubris.
All right. Where are y'all going?
I would suggest a decent distance away and then ditching this cop car.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then into that good night.
Ditching the thing that has a GPS transponder on it. Fantastic idea.
No notes.
I don't know it's stolen yet, so leave me alone.
Yeah, no, it's been like fucking 20-30 seconds. No one has had a chance to like start trying to track you. So you find someplace to ditch it. And I'm just going to like extrapolate from there and ask guiding questions. You sort of like conceal things as best as you can. BP probably drops the rock form at some point as you just sort of like wind your way through Cap Hill and over to First Hill before either hopping on a bus or getting an Uber or whatever we decide Ubers should be named in Scion. And
I still have my 2 Ford guys, so I can look like somebody else if need be.
And I'm Greek, so if I put on a hat, they can't recognize me.
The Briar Wolf is a little harder to disguise, but Thorns also has the feeling that like Briar Wolf or Lily is just sort of around anywhere there are plants, and that Lily can just sort of like go digging in like a patch of earth and like a dog looking to bury a bone or to looking to like dig under a fence or something, and then vanish and then pop up later on somewhere else.
She's a good girl.
Yeah. You feel like you should go to Mud Bay and get treats, although you have no idea what treats would appeal to a Briar Wolf. And when you are less actively sought by police, you'll probably do some research and find that out.
I mean, it's most likely cops. It seems like at least.
Okay, so she just wants pork.
Certainly fucking moss beasts.
I understand, Elliot. I hear you. Okay.
Speaking of Moss Beast, Addie had actually left a handful of drones over there. Like 3 of them are still getting like all angles of Harry Callahan's tearful confession. Other ones have been documenting the smashing of squad cars and SWAT vans by Moss Beast, to the point where like you're getting like these slow motion matrixy shots because they can she's able to like stitch them together in the same way, yeah, in the exact same way that the Wachowski sisters made the bullet time effect. So you're getting like this cool bullet time and Winthorns has more of a moment to like watch this. Their heart grows a little bit because the Moss Beast in this bullet time like swinging around camera picks up the SWAT van, throws it up into the air, and then Shoryukens it. Unfortunately, the Moss Beast can't talk, so doesn't actually yell Shoryuken, but the visual is there. Do y'all get the fuck out of this city?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I know that Thorns was happy to be back in Seattle, but extenuating circumstances.
Yeah, I'll let things cool off a little bit before returning home, I think.
I definitely so before I leave, I meet up with some of my worshipers, such as they are, and make sure they have the confession files from the drone, to make sure that they keep on and at least get Karen out of jail.
Yeah, you're
as
able
that
to,
was the initial ask.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you are able to very easily arrange that, and there is there's a police press conference that late afternoon where the chief of police explains the situation as best as she's able to, and as best as she's able to put a positive spin on it, which is not terribly successful because there are a lot of destroyed cop cars and missing police weapons, and it's hard to put a good spin on this shit. Especially since when you left, there was a protest moving to the Eastern Precinct. And when they saw smashed and burning cop cars, it turned into a fucking party. Like, the hell, Rancho Bravo is like a Mexican restaurant that's right there. They are doing nonstop business. The hot dog carts that are usually 1 block south have all pulled up. People
Nutcrackers aplenty. I realize people might not know what nutcrackers are. They are alcohol sold in the streets. They're typically like different alcohol mixed with like pineapple juice or Kool-Aid that you can like buy at like parades, hush hush, if you know what to look for.
Nice. And anarchist kitchens and food not bombs show up, and they're just having a cookout, handing out free food, which the hot dog vendors are a little annoyed by, but like they are making more sales than they would ordinarily. And you don't exactly ride off into the sunset, mainly because you can't head west from there easily.
I saw this one coming.
But
Fantastic.
you escape anyone who is currently trying to find you, and the social impact of what you have done and the level of brutality and corruption that you have exposed is making a lot of people more aware and incensed. And if you fucking thought Seattle was leftist before, if you thought Seattle was a fucking protest city before, extrapolating out a little bit further, in a very similar way to how the Occupy movement and the CHOP, the Capitol Hill Occupy protest or organized protest, depending on whose acronym you believe, how those kind of took over that street. Is that Pine? Doesn't matter. All of Cal Anderson, well, most of Cal Anderson, as well as the 1 block over Seattle Central campus, are just fully occupied by protesters, anarchists, anyone else who wants to change the community. And unlike before, there is the distinct sense that the cops are not going to be able to dislodge these folks, at least not the local cops. And if federal forces get involved, shit's going to get even weirder. And that is well beyond the scope of this wrap up. So you have found justice for Akita Tempest. You have cleared the name of Karen Jameson. Did anyone do anything with her fucking sword?
No.
I thought about grabbing it, but as I keep grabbing it and it keeps vanishing from my custody, I've just assumed it's going to keep doing that. So I didn't bother this time.
All right. I'll make a note of that. And you don't know what happened to it.
I assume it made its way back to her.
Potentially. Mortals can't see it, and there are a ton of fucking mortals swarming that area right now. So it'd be hard for anyone to find. At any rate, you get out, you find a place to lay low, hang out, chill out, and you all have a pretty good sense that you have done something that tilts the balance of the world more towards a more just one. Not necessarily one that is within the order fucking purview, because it's really not. It's distinctly not. But you all, when you're able to rest and recuperate, each of you has another encounter with your divine parents, which I will extrapolate again because we are overtime, so I'm just not gonna. And each of you learns more about your divine parents and what situations they have been encountering and what their ethos, their persona, their the societal and divine trappings of them impacting your life are, which is a long-winded way of saying that the whole learn more about the Bogovi, learn more about what it means to be a Scion, learn more about what it means to be a Titan, all fucking accomplished. Y'all go up one legend, and future adventures, if any, are gonna be that much weirder because you're already breaking a whole lot of rules, and so far that kind of seems like your thing. uh so quickly wrap up, and Michaela, sorry, you're doing something.
No, I'm
Okay.
just adjusting fingers of falling.
Michaela, who are you? Who have you been playing, and where can people find you and or your stuff?
Hello everyone, I'm Michele Masala. It's been my pleasure to play Elena Tornos Rappaccini along these fine peeps around me. And you can find me, at this point, usually on Tumblr at Ghost of Cinders, or on Discord, at the Onyx Path Discord. I sorta over around the place often. As for stuff of mine, you can check Drive Through RPG. I don't have many titles up yet. More are coming this year. It will be cool. And I also write They Came From Things for the Storypath Nexus. So far, the only one out is They Came From the North Pole. And you can check that out, even if we are out of season for that one. As for the rest, I just say to support your RPG writers, and because we work hard for the books we make, and we care a lot, despite all the noise that happens, like in the past few weeks in the RPG world and stuff like that. We care and we make cool things, so please support us.
Yes, please, thank you. Also, we played They Came From the North Pole. Michaela led us through that. So if you wanted to see an actual play and find out how cool it is, the answer is very cool, and you can see how cool it is yourself. David, who are you? Who have you been playing, and where can people find your stuff?
I'm David Castro, they, them. I am a writer and developer for Onyx Path, among others. You can find me online, mostly on Twitter, because I never left. At the Inked Knights. You can find my stuff at davidcastro.net. I have a few lasers and feelings hacks on there. One of which is A Ghost is a Wish, about haunted houses, and the other is Dreams Dying, which is about magic and consequences. You can find links to them at davidcastro.net. Also, I do work for Nerdy Kepi, where we make cool queer clothing and merchandise, so go buy stuff from us.
Awesome. Yeah, lots of really cool apparel and everything, really. Elliot, who are you? Who have you been playing, and where can people find your stuff?
I'm Elliot Freeman. It has been my delight to get to play BP, Beauregard Prescott. You can conjure and abjure me either on the shambling corpse of Twitter at Elliot M. Freeman, or I am often haunting the Exalted fan Discord and more infrequently Onyx Path's official Discord. Yeah, that's me.
Awesome. And I'm Hiromi Cota, they, them, writer and developer for a bunch of things. I have really enjoyed running this. Players are awesome. People who are watching the stream are awesome. This is going to be the last episode for ? But if folks have time to, because writers have no free time, if folks have time to, we'll get this going again, and it'll be fantastic. You can find me on Twitter or Tumblr or my website, hiromicota.com. I'm Hiromi Cota on Twitter and Tumblr. I try not to be on Twitter, so it's not a great way to engage with me, but I kind of need to for at least the next like 25 days, because I have 2 fucking crowdfunding campaigns going on. I was a writer and co-developer for the 5th season RPG, which is a fantastic thing, based off of the Broken Earth trilogy of novels that won best-selling, won all of the Hugos. N.K. Jemisin is a wonderful author, and if you're looking for an RPG that is mixes science fiction, fantasy, a bit of post-apocalyptic, a bit of kind of during an apocalypse, or maybe pre-apocalypse, depending on how your individual game runs, that's a thing. It's very much focused on the idea of community, because comms are an essential part of the game, to the point where you make a comm as part of the character creation process before you make your characters, because how your characters fit into the setting is hugely important. Also, don't kill your fucking neighbors, because they're your neighbors. And Realms of Pugmire 2nd edition.
Oh yeah, I did that too.
Yeah, like David was on that too. They made all kinds of cool critters for you to fight. I made the adventure for it, and did a lot of work on the magic system. Pugmire was originally based off of D&D and thus the OGL, and it's not now. It's its own thing, and it is fantastic if you want to be dogs in dog adventurers, being the best dogs possible,
Or cats, or
rats.
I think rats are also,
yeah, there are options
that you
coming.
can start.
And I think that's it for the things that I can plug as like things associated with me. Aside from that, you should look up, if you're in North America, you should look up whose ancestral land you are on, and then find out if that tribe still exists, and then give them money. Like be living in North America as an indigenous person is harder than it should be, and you can make tribal donations to make it a little bit easier. That's us. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching the past 20 episodes of this. Y'all have been great. Stay safe, and I usually say we'll catch you next time, but I don't know when next time is, but we'll catch you then.
Goodbye, everyone.